Are you a generous husband? Do you give freely of your thoughts, feelings, actions, and time? I'm Leslie Dories, your marriage coach and creator of the Hero Husband Project. And at this time of year, generosity is everywhere. And one definition of generous that I found was going beyond the usual and expected. And I think that's a pretty poor definition of generosity because what's usual? What's expected, right? Um, going beyond the basics, going beyond the bare minimum is how that shows up for me, and I'm not sure that's particularly generous. Generous is about being unselfish. Now, that doesn't mean that you do things for other people to your detriment. It just means that you do things for other people, specifically your spouse, your wife, that you know will make life easier, that you know will make her feel good about herself. And I know that this can get really, really tough because does she deserve it? And once you get into that mindset that somebody has to be deserving of generosity, then you start scorekeeping. Then you start paying attention to all the things that she isn't doing that you want her to do. And then you feel justified in not doing the things that you know a good husband, a good partner will do. And the truth of the matter is generosity can turn things around. When somebody is generous to you, it makes you feel good. And it also increases the chance that you will then turn around and be generous with somebody else. It works the same way in your marriage. And, we get caught up in why should I do this? Why should I be the one to go first? Well, to be honest with you, that's what leaders do. Leaders and heroes go first. They don't necessarily think that that somebody else needs to do that. They step up and do the right thing because it's the right thing, not because they're going to get accolades, not because of anything else. Now, generally, they will get accolades if anybody knows about it. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to change the underlying energy in your relationship. When we withhold, when we make it about what somebody is, is owed or deserves, then we become very small and we get into this mindset, that there's not enough, right? There's, this scarcity mindset versus if we're generous, then what we're doing is we believe that in abundance, that we believe that there's enough to go around. And, so I get it that maybe there are things that your wife does or wants you to do that you don't see any value in, except maybe for the value of making her feel good, right? Of making her feel important, of making her feel like her time, her energy, her interests matter to you. And, in some respects, I think that should just be a part of a healthy marriage, that it doesn't necessarily imply generosity. But, if you get into this mindset that this is her job or her responsibility or the things that she cares about, and you don't have to participate, I'm going to tell you that scarcity mindset is going to play out in all areas of your relationship. So my challenge to you is at a time when you would say to yourself, maybe, well, she doesn't deserve this, or I don't really care about this, or why is this important to her, or I'd rather just sit and do my own thing, which at times is okay. But what you want to do is make her feel like you are part of her life, that you care about what she's doing, that you see and honor. And by the way, when you do this, when you start being kind and generous and loving and open with her, unless there's something really, really wrong in the relationship, she will do it in response. So there's my challenge to you for today. I hope you found it interesting. I'd love to know your thoughts about it. And if you struggle with being generous to your partner, if you struggle with her deserving of your generosity, then I invite you to get in touch with me, because I'm going to tell you guys you're headed in the wrong direction and we want to turn that around fast. So give me a call. Send me an email at Lesli, Lesli, at foundationscoachingnc.com. Send me a direct message on Facebook, and please subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share this with anybody who you think it might be helpful for. So, in generosity and with lots of love, see you next week.